kicking it over real quickly, we're going to talk some NASCAR. It is time for the Daytona 500. That's coming up this next Sunday. But first, we had the Clash at the Coliseum. We had the exhibition race to kick off the season done at the LA Coliseum, which I was wondering how they were going to do that. And it was really just cool to see. I mean, it's a nice palate cleanser for the NASCAR season. And, you know, even though I'm a big fan of what was, I don't know, I forget what it's called now, but I know it used to be called the Bud Shootout, so we'll call it the Bud Shootout. But, you know, I was
the Bush light, it's called the Bush Clash.
Yeah. So, I was a big fan of that, but I do also like the idea, especially if you're trying to grow the sport and make it, kind of cater to different, fan bases in different regions. I do like the idea of, I know it's probably, not likely to be sustainable at off the wall places like the LA Coliseum.
Yeah, because I don't know many of the other places that could actually,
who could actually do it. But at the same time, it's cool to see, that kind of different. And I know it's a little hard too because of the fact that you literally have to then haul everybody back to Florida. But I did like the idea of just kind of having this revolving door of like whoever hosting the exhibition race to kick off the season.
Yeah, I did too. And honestly, I would love to see them at other venues, other racing venues. Honestly, it would be really cool to see them on an IndyCar street course.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Nashville.
Well, the next kind of question was like, what's the next off the wall venue you'd like to see NASCAR race at? And that's one of the ones that I put down there. I was like, I don't know, you don't see very many street courses in NASCAR, if any. I don't think there's any.
It's only road course. It's only the smooth and things that are pretty built, that are meant to be a race course. Watkins Glen. I don't know what Indianapolis. What's Sears Point? What's it now? What's it called now?
Oh, I don't know. It's Sonoma.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah,
but it did used to be Sears Point, and it's those things change names so often that I just can't keep track of it.
Just like here in Indy, I still call it Deer Creek.
Exactly.
No, it's Klipsch. It's Klipsch.
Conseco Fieldhouse. No Banker's Life. No Gainbridge.
Nope. There's two racing courses I think it'd be cool. So since they took dirt to Bristol, which was cool by the way, I want to see them at Eldora.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart's dirt track in Ohio. I think that would be really cool. They started kind of something like that where a bunch of the NASCAR drivers came in. It was a charity event that Tony Stewart put on. I forget, it's an event he does every year, but one year it was big, and these guys took their they brought in late model cars and they painted them to their NASCAR paint scheme. So like Jeff Gordon had the flames and the 24 and everything. It was really cool. So Eldora would be one, especially considering so many of these NASCAR drivers have backgrounds in late model or dirt tracks. And I mean, Kyle Larson, come on. Kyle Larson would kill at that race. Let's just be honest. The other one, I don't think it's even called this anymore. Well, it may have gone back to it, but IRP, Indiana Raceway Park.
Yeah, it's back to being.
It's gone back to that. Yeah. They're taking those steps in the right direction to get some stuff back like that. That race series, the Series of Champions, I think it was, that everybody raced the same style of car and had the same budget, and it brought in past champions. Like I know there was Elio Castroneves ran it, Paul Tracy, Tony Kanaan. I know Bill Elliott, Chase Elliott ran one of them, but they came to IRP this year. I think so. IRP would be a fun one.
Yeah, I like those ideas. Some of the bigger venues that I was thinking of, although I don't know how you could do these. I first thought I was first on the brain of NFL stadiums, so I was thinking the Superdome would be cool. AT&T Stadium. I feel like Jerry Jones would. Superdome. I know you probably can't do because of the noise, but
well, it's also enclosed and the fumes would kill everybody, because apparently the fumes at Bristol
But
you start feeling a little high.
I thought, don't they have some races indoors though? I mean, not NASCAR, but like,
Well, yeah, we're talking like the USAC cars, like the
okay,
Chili Bowl is
I gotcha.
inside, and
Okay,
they have had a few like go-kart races inside Gainbridge
well,
when there was like a convention here, but
yeah, AT&T is open though, isn't it? Like that, you could open that one
yeah,
up.
well,
Oh,
I guess if you can have monster trucks inside Lucas Oil Stadium, you can have NASCARs inside AT&T Stadium.
yeah.
Why not?
So I don't know. Those were some other venues I thought of, and I also thought like it'd be really cool. Like let's get like a course that incorporates the like Daytona Beach, like they used to do
Yeah, do
back
you
in the
remember
day.
that in one of the NASCAR video games?
Yeah, that was like
You actually, I think it was the one that where you like you start the game off by racing Ryan
Ryan Newman.
Newman in a
Yeah,
street race. It was all like sponsored by Dodge
yeah.
and that year,
You raced
and you
two
could
Dodge
like
Vipers
yeah, and
on
you could
the
you could build your own team that started like with like sprint cars and all the way up. And it was really that was a cool one. And one of the tracks that you raced on for one of the lower series was the Daytona Beach
right.
course.
Well, it was one that you could select for like a random, like if you're just doing like a play now, you could race at that track too. That was like one of my favorite racing games. Was that one?
That
So
one, yeah.
I would love to see. I feel like there's a way that you could make that happen. So I would really love to see some type of incorporation, even if you had to put like, isn't there like a short track in the middle of Daytona, or like couldn't you put it maybe like on the?
No, there's a short track in the middle of Charlotte.
Okay, I was gonna say like
Yeah,
figure out
Daytona. There is
road
a
course.
road course. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a short track in the middle of Charlotte.
So yeah, something like that. Point is, though, I think it'd be really fun for them to keep doing those like moving around exhibition races to start the season, as long as you like, as long as it's still working out. Like I said, obviously, I know it's really tough to. It was a lot easier when it was like, let's do our exhibition race at Daytona, and then everybody's still here, and it kind of kicks off speed weeks. But
Mhm.
I do like the
It
idea,
was just extra practice,
right?
to be honest. It was
Pretty
like,
much.
okay, Kyle Busch is going to figure this thing out and just run away with the rest of the week. That's the way it used to be. So I do like the idea of moving it around to different places that may not be on the schedule.
Well, before we get out of here, we do need to make our Daytona 500 prediction. So getting ready for this race, really excited to get back to racing. I really like the new car. I think it ran well. At the Clash at the Coliseum. So I'm really excited to see what happens. But you know, I in the spirit of what I did for the Indy 500, I was like, I have to get weird with my
Of
prediction.
course you do. Of course
Exactly.
you
Like
do.
I have to. I can't just because like look, I could be like, you know what? I think it might be Brad Keselowski. I think it might be Kyle
It's not
Busch.
going to be.
Right. So I could just throw out a common name, Kevin Harvick. But I was like, you know what? Let's take a look at the previous years, last 10 Daytona
Okay.
500s, because I mean this is a race that always kind of gets quirky. I mean, I feel like half the time it starts at like 2 and it ends at like 2 a.m. Like it goes
Starts at 2 o'clock, ends on starts at 2 o'clock on a Sunday, ends on Monday night at 10:30 p.m.
right.
Been there before.
Hey, yeah. Over the last 10 years, we've had 5 repeat winners, 5 first-time winners. The only one of those drivers still active is Denny Hamlin. All 3 of his victories came 2016 or later. And honestly, I just wasn't feeling Denny Hamlin. So I was like, okay, let's look at the other winners. Let's look at the 5 first-time winners. Well, 3 of those drivers have driven Fords. So I wanted to hone in on Team Penske. They had 3 drivers in the top 15 in last year's Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney won the Coke Zero 400. So my prediction, because this race last year produced a first ever, like a first winner ever. He never won a race before, Michael McDowell. I was like, let's hone in on Austin Cindric. He would be
So you're not picking Brad Keselowski, but you're picking his old car.
Yes. He'd be the first time winner, and he'd be a first time winner, and he'd be the second driver in as many years to win their first ever Cup race at the Daytona 500. So my
Isn't
prediction,
that like his first Cup race though?
no,
He's a rookie.
He ran last year.
Oh yeah,
he ran some races last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Austin Cindric is my pick.
It's a good pick because Austin Cindric is a heck of a race car driver. But I'm going to go with one of the most dominant teams from last year that I feel like is going to transition into this new car pretty nicely. I'm going to go with Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, this is a team that they know their way around a restrictor plate track. I'm going to go with the guy, though, that has landed the pole frequently since he got it his rookie year. A matter of fact, I'm going to go with William Byron. I think he finally gets over the hump and wins this race. He's shown that he can get around that track really fast. He's always got a fast car. He knows how to handle the car on that track, and that's a big battle with it. I think also with Hendrick drivers, they're all young. They're all sharing this information, and I just feel like they're going to figure out this car the quickest out of everybody. Just for some reason, that team just seems like a step ahead. That's like they did last year. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that carry on into this season and start off the season strong. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chase Elliott up there either, because he always runs really strong at restrictor plates as well. But I have a feeling about William Byron this year. Chase Elliott's an easy pick. William Byron, not so much, even though he's gotten the pole like 3 times in his short career at Daytona for the 500. So he's got a fast car typically. So I'm going with the 24 back in victory lane with William Byron.